Look at all these kids. Hi, guys.
Where do you want us?
Who's going to sit up front first? Who's the most? Diana. Come on up in the front.
Oh, yay.
Woo! How you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
All right. Good to meet you. Plenty of room, right? It's an adventure vehicle.
This is so cool, Gino. I've never been.
Yeah, you're going to have to slam it.
We're working on our interactive qualifying project, which is a graduation requirement for our school, Worcester Polytechnic Institute. And we have a study abroad program where we can go to various sites around the world or around the country. And Nantucket is a new site this year. I was intrigued because it was like a test site, and I've also never been to Nantucket, and it's so close. I'm from Massachusetts, but it seems like a really nice place to come.
Oh,
and it has been very nice.
Wow. So how long have you guys been here?
We've been here for the past 7 weeks.
7 weeks?
Yeah, yep.
Full time?
Full time, working 8 to 4 pretty much every day. Working at the NERDA building, actually.
Wow. So you've got, now when's the presentation for this?
We're actually presenting tonight at 6 o'clock at the Board of Selectmen.
Oh, okay, so this would have happened already by the time people see it.
But also, people can look at the town website. Their entire research paper is about 450 pages long.
Okay.
And it's available right now at the town website, and you click on committees.
All right, well, we're going to head out, right? Is that what we're doing?
Yep.
Where are we going?
We're going to the
Landfill?
DPW office.
Oh, are they waiting for us?
Nope.
Okay.
But that's the best shot.
That's
for
the
you to
best
get.
shot.
Yeah.
All right.
Does that mean it's recording?
Talk to me about what you found.
Well, we did a lot of research which covered the laws, permits, and regulations that are necessary to implement a wind turbine on Nantucket. We looked into some financial analysis, very preliminary financial analysis, because it's a hugely complex issue and we only had 7 weeks to work on it. And we also did a lot of interviews and case studies to find out what concerns people had for wind power on Nantucket. We came up with a list of about 20-something concerns that people had, including financial aspects, human issues and aesthetics, and potential avian death, which was big with all the birders on the island. We also came up with a lot of information that was showing that there are ways to mitigate all these problems, such as with the concerns with the impact on birds. If there's generally the big problems are during migrations in foggy and windy weather. So the Energy Committee is looking into a bird subcommittee which will monitor the migrations of the birds and will allow the Energy Committee to set up guidelines for when to shut off turbines during a few select nights during the fall, when there will be large numbers of birds coming through the area that could potentially collide with the turbine because they can't see it. The two sites we looked at right now are the Nantucket landfill and the Surfside wastewater treatment facility. There's a lot of land around the landfill and we're not sure particularly where, and we're also not sure based on, we need to do further studies of the plant life in the area, avian life, and things like that to determine if the site is feasible.
What size turbines are we talking about?
We've looked at everything from 250 kilowatt, 660 kilowatt, and 1.5 megawatt. The only thing that we conclusively know is due to height restrictions because of the proximity to the airport at the Surfside wastewater treatment facility, you could only have up to 250 kilowatt turbines because they have to be under 178 feet.
Right.
But at the landfill, we need to do more studies, or the Energy Committee will be doing more studies to determine if a 660 kilowatt turbines or 1.5 megawatt turbines would be most suited at that site.
Now, did you base your study on what Europe is doing as well? Because they use so much wind power there?
We did a little bit, but most of what we were doing wasn't the specific siting. We were looking at Nantucket in particular because Nantucket is so different from everywhere else in the world. So we did take into consideration some of the things.
Why is it so different from everywhere else?
Well, Nantucket is very different because, first of all, it's a very small island, so transportation is one key factor that could be difficult, especially with the town being a lot of old narrow roads. Actually, one other interesting finding is that if they use 1.5 megawatt turbines, they actually need to get a helicopter to transport the blades from near the island to the sites, just because the blades are so long. They're about 122 feet long, and they can't make it through all the turns in town.
Sure. Okay.
So that's one interesting thing.
But we can get around that, right?
Yes.
I mean, we could
Yep.
we could helicopter everything in.
Mm-hmm. It actually would only have to be the blades that would save money to be able to get everything else.
Okay,
through
so that's
town.
what else is interesting about Nantucket that you found?
Well, there's a huge bird population, and it is not just the birds that we're used to in the rest of Massachusetts and New England, because the climate's different, because it's surrounded by the ocean, and there are a lot of endangered and threatened birds that you just don't find in a lot of other places around here. So that's a major concern, to protect the lives of those birds.
Mm-hmm.
And also just Nantucket as a place. You know, it's a very big summer destination, vacation homes.
Yeah.
I mean, just what Nantucket stands for. It's more of a old-fashioned feel here, and some people may not be so accepting of a new technology coming onto the island and being so visual.
And so, how many of these are you thinking we could put there, though?
Well, we've only looked at studies for single turbines, just kind of looking at the economics of one turbine at the sites, just due to
just one.
Just because of current legislation, it kind of doesn't really favor larger wind turbine projects, but there's a lot of court cases and things up in the air with the Green Communities Act, which could eventually change this. So
There's definitely potential in the future, but as far as financial analysis,
Yeah.
all we really considered was one, because it's the most cost effective at the moment.
Yeah.
But that's not to say that multiple turbines are not in the future for Nantucket.